One of the things that you need to do is recognize that you're working on your transition game and you're working on your side-out game. If you're then working on both elements, that would be a wash drill, for example, where the receiving serve and then you'll play a ball that you're hitting in or a free ball after that. Do any of you have any questions about team play, questions about suggested systems, that sort of thing? I'm just gonna, when it comes to passing, for example, I find that a lot of coaches keep too many passers in. They go to a W and they stay there for a while. You should try and move to a 3-passer system. It reduces confusion. The 3, and you can switch your passers, no problem. And one of the things that you certainly can do as a coach is say, look, girls, everyone gets a bad rotation. So you could be there, that server serves a way that you're finding very difficult, and so we're going to pull you out. We're not, so you pull back, you move over. So you get your athletes accustomed to move over, step in. If you've got 3 passers, you can make a lot of switching there without subbing anyone off the court, which is a big advantage. But it is easier to pass with 3. So I would suggest getting to that. Obviously, the 14s, 13s, 14s, I use 4 passers. I don't use 5 for that, but anyway. Are you all familiar with how to set up the serve receive? Any issues with that? Okay. And in terms of the offense, keep it simple. 13, 14s, I would just go setters and 3 for a few weeks. Everybody try everything. And then start going to a 4-2 eventually. But I wouldn't even go to a 5-1 necessarily with the 14s. They're young. They'll be fine. The advantage of the setters being able to attack all the time. If you are running a 4-2, you should teach your setters if they're out of system. Back row setter, you're still a setter. If the ball's out of system, you get in there and set that ball. These are young setters, so you need to reduce their range. The front row setter plays in-system balls, back row setter plays out-of-system balls, and everybody's hitting. I don't really have much else. Did you guys have anything you'd like to share about your experiences in terms of what worked or what hasn't worked in terms of the age classes that you're coaching?
I guess I'm doing 13.
Yeah.
And certain things like formations, like when to switch, or even like overhand serve.
Yeah.
Is that something you want to try and train?
Yeah, they should all be overhand serve by the end of the year. But I got to tell you, if you want them to overhand serve, have them hit balls off the floor. It's literally, the thing to teach young athletes is it's velocity before accuracy. And it's very interesting. If you become accustomed to looking at this, you're going to notice the girls are actually moving in slow motion. They're so focused on that ball's got to go over there. Their body is responding by slowing down. And that's a normal response. So if you have to explain to your players, and this is a fun exercise I do with all the players at the beginning of the year. So stick your arm out. Okay, so this here, what I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to push down, and when I'm pushing down, I want you to say, I can do this, I'm strong. You're just going to resist what I'm doing, all right? I can do this, I'm strong. By the way, girls love this kind of stuff. You ready?
Okay.
Okay, go.
I can do this, I'm strong.
Yeah. All right, that was pretty darn good. I think I pulled something. All right. All right, now you're going to do the same thing. Same thing, I'm pushing. All you're going to do is you're going to say, I can't do this, I'm weak. I can't do this, I'm weak. Okay. Yeah.
I can't do this, I'm weak. I can't do this, I can't do this,
Now, I got to tell you, I'm pushing a lot less hard than I was the first time. So what's happening here is he wants to perform a certain task. His body he's just mentally saying negative things. And as a response to that, his body, so the nervous system doesn't differentiate between reality and imagined, which means that you can be, a teenage girl's watching a scary movie, she's legitimately scared. Like her nervous system can't differentiate. Is she the one being chased, or is that some girl on the screen? So when your athlete goes up to that service lines and goes, I hope I don't miss. I hope I don't miss. Her body is going to respond by slowing down. She's going to go into a slow, cautious mode. And if you know your players, you're going to notice that. And you're going to say, I need you to be wild and reckless. I need you to toss that ball, hit it as hard as you can. You need to shake off this. It's a very common thing with female players. They want to be safe. I want that ball to go there. And wow, is that a slow move? And so you velocity first, toss, go quick. And once they get out of their heads, they're going to be, by the way, here's another trick for underhand, for younger players. Have them serve and hit under the ball, all right? They're going to be hitting behind the ball, but it's got to go high for it to go far. So as a young player, they have to not obviously here, but it's about here. They go here, that ball's going to go high, and then it's going to start going over the net. And they're going to be pretty pumped about that. So you just have to tweak that point of contact. But yeah, that's something you need to look for in younger players on that service line. They need to have an individual routine twice. When they serve, and that means there's 5 steps to serving, one of them stop, focus, positive affirmation. I'm a serving machine. I can do this. I got this. Whatever makes them strong, just to avoid negative thinking. Affirmations are actually not about being pumped. It's about avoiding negative thinking. All professional athletes have affirmations they use on the court. Now you got 13-year-old girls, 14-year-old girls. They need it more than that professional athlete does. And they need one when they're serving, receiving. So they need it when they're serving, they need one when they're receiving. I'm a passer, bring it on, I got this. This is fun with 13-year-olds. All right? The girl over there is about to serve, and you watch this is my passer here. Walking off the court, she does not want to pass that serve. It's like, okay, back out. We're setting, and oh, come here. Yeah, your head's back. Get your head down. Well, you completely murdered the drill because now you're pulling athletes aside to talk to them one-on-one while everyone else is waiting. Do you understand? So you do have to have a rapport with your coach. One of you's tossing, the other one's pulling athletes aside and doing corrections, so that it's not the same person doing both things, or you're really going to have a slow practice. I've had a few coaches over the years who love to throw, love to talk, slowest practices ever. You really don't want to have that kind of environment. You want them to be pumped, excited. So again, for setting, key in on levers. They will actually, they will learn quickly what you're talking about. It's the same with passing. You know, I'm passing under the ball, I'm passing behind the ball, I'm passing high, I'm passing low. Angles of passing is really kind of what she was referring to as right, but angles is something they need to learn on defensive passing. So forearm passing, you need to start just with making sure they understand your system. Are you linear passing, non-linear passing? What are the assignments, the seams, so the 3 aspects to passing? Move and pass, move and set, move. Just don't. One thing that I didn't do much of years ago and I've been doing more of in the last few years is tossing a ball and then having the player run, let the ball bounce, spin and set. When you're tossing balls and you're allowing it to bounce, to set, the spinning motion, so your primary footwork, shuffling, secondary movement, I'm going to jump set, I'm going to push set, I am running to the ball, that's my primary movement. My secondary movement is I'm spinning on my inside foot and I'm doing a 2-foot set. I'm spinning and I'm jumping off of 1 foot. That's a secondary movement. So they need to practice big steps to small steps, big steps to small steps. So if they're working on shuffling, she's my player, I can bounce the ball, have her shuffle. Because it's bouncing, she's going to shorten her steps to get behind that ball. If I toss at her, she's never going to learn how to move her feet correctly. So bounce here, go get these balls. Younger players, we just ask them actually to just catch the ball. Go over here, let it bounce, good. Yeah, and if you're watching his feet, you're going to notice he is naturally shortening his steps before he gets to that ball. Over here, and over here. So you could literally have your athletes lined up, set one, set 2 next, set 1, set 2. So they're actually doing some live setting. You can even do that with partners. But this is a really easy way for them to learn how to run and spin on the inside foot to square up to that target. By the way, we're spin setters. We don't